So, Martin, have they moved back to traditional Catholicism?
Yes, and they long for it.
They don't even have a whimper. So can they be Protestants? Are they protesting the doctrines of Rome?
No.
No. They're looking at the soup kitchens, they're looking at the revival, they're looking at the revival of morality. They're all very excited, but they don't know what that morality is based on. Natural law.
And where it's heading.
And where it's heading. And so, Martin, you have all of a sudden, whereas in the last few years you had a massive decline, you have a massive resurgence of Catholicism.
It took only a few months.
And what did they use? Didn't they use the celebrities that all turned to Catholicism?
One after
And
the
what's
other.
happening with the youth now?
Well, where it used to, like you just said, churches were running empty. You got an influx
And they can't even keep up.
in Catholicism.
And where's it going? Is it going towards Protestantism or is it going to Catholicism?
Catholicism, and the interesting part is they want conservative tradition to come back.
All right, so the youth wants conservative, traditional Catholicism. The man standing in the way of that was Pope Francis, right? And I don't know whether anybody watched the movie The Conclave, where they discussed the election of the next pope, as it were. And they said they can't go back to the ancient things, so they basically took a hermaphrodite bisexual and he became pope, showing that the modern papacy would be all-inclusive and that wokeness and all of these ideologies would not go. But Martin, there are priests and prelates who are saying we have to go back to the ancient traditions.
Yeah.
And they are saying we have to go back to the light.
Yes. They're calling it light.
They're calling it light, but history calls it the Dark Ages.
Yeah.
Martin, this is to me very fascinating, because if they manage to do that, if they manage to go back to what they call light, then they are literally saying that the darkness of the Middle Ages was light.
Yeah.
And what does the Bible say about that?
Woe to him.
Woe to those who call light darkness and darkness light. Martin, this is the ultimate betrayal of Jesus Christ, because then the whole system will have been washed away. By the way, did Pope Francis issue indulgences?
Yes.
So did he firmly stand for indulgences?
Oh, very much so. It's the Jubilee year. He opened the door. All of this.
So if, Martin, you had indulgences, then Christ is not a mediator that paid the price for your sin. Because there would be no need for an indulgence. All it takes is to go onto your knees and thank him for the sacrifice, accept it by faith and appropriate it to yourself. And as we have said 1,000 times, the worst sin, in my opinion, that Protestantism has done in the last decades was to compromise the doctrine of justification, which is the pillar of Protestantism. And that joint declaration, I'm going to quote it again, which says, by grace alone, through Christ's saving work, we are justified.
Nope.
That is diabolical. Because it is by faith alone in Christ's atoning blood that we are justified. Christ's saving works goes into the treasury of merit. That's Catholic doctrine. And it is by faith alone that you are saved, because without faith it is impossible to save you. Yes, you receive grace, but you have to appropriate it by faith.
In the blood.
That's justification. So the compromise is totally Catholic.
Yeah. So they all, and just to put it bluntly, everybody that signed that declaration is back under Catholics, and they say it's supreme.
And because the world is so chaotic, Protestantism is willing to go along with it just to get some morality back under the semblance of Christianity. Now, there's a video out of what one priest said in an interview. Can we play that?
Yes, let me play it.
So where do you think things sit right now? I mean, you see you see two camps kind of emerging. I think I maybe explained both sides of this. Social media saying, wow, the woke Pope has died. What will the church look like going forward? Will we have a return to traditional Catholic values? Or are we moving in a totally new direction? Where do you see things going for the Catholic Church worldwide?
If we look at the younger generation, over this last couple of months, we've had lots of data come out from different organizations that shows that younger people are seeking tradition. They are finding the Catholic faith, and this is across the West, particularly in America and in my home country, Great Britain, where we have the Church of England, which has been the predominant Christian denomination for the last 500 years. And for the first time ever, it looks like Catholics are taking over. So we're seeing this across the board, this finding of traditional worship and traditional Christian values. And so I'm hoping that the next pontiff happens to be a conservative, traditional, properly sound Catholic, because that will be, it's just the perfect timing as the next generation are looking for tradition and sound doctrine. If a Pope stands up now that can embrace them and embrace the tradition of the church, it could be a good thing for the world, actually, if we see a return to Christendom in the West, away from liberalism and progressive secularism and all the things that are tearing us apart and introducing a death culture. We could head back away from the darkness, back towards the light, which would be a wonderful thing to behold.
Did you hear that? They want us to go back to the dark ages, but they're calling it light.
So basically what they're saying is that Protestantism was never able to rein in morality, that they absolutely failed. It is only Catholicism that can give you the stability that is needed, and we have to go back to the light. And for the first time, Catholicism is outstripping even the Church of England, is outstripping Protestantism everywhere in the world, and it will be enshrined.
I'm just thinking, you know how clever they were. They've made, in the past few months, since Trump has come in, Catholicism attractive.
Yes, and then Dolan says this is providential. It is the right timing. Right timing for what? For Catholicism to take back the scepter, to step back in history into the Dark Ages, and to be enshrined. And who will enshrine her? Spiritism and Protestantism will lift her up as the standard, and the standard of God, the 10 Commandments as they stand, written in stone, will be laid in the dust.